Hey guys, today I have triple element Overworld. So I'm going to go over all the pieces and then I'll explain how the deck works. So we have Gronmer in the top left. He's got 3 elements. He has Fire 5 and Support All Discipline 5s with 65 energy. Really good. We got Tenga Toborn in training, 70 energy. Three elements, the same ones as Gronmer, and 2 music counters. Super solid card. And then we have another Gronmer on the top right with 3 elements, Fire 5, and Support All Disciplines 5s. A really strong fighter. In the middle, I have Hoon Paltinin. When an opposing non-overworld creature loses a music counter, heal 10 damage to target creature. This card is super broken, and it also has 2 music counters. Very strong. Next to Hoon, we have Karaba in the back middle. He has 3 music counters, a really strong healing effect, 35 energy. And in the very far back, we have Nadrin, Fluidmorpher's Foe, with 3 music counters, 2 really good built-in effects, and he basically stops Fluidmorphers in their tracks. So diving in, we use all 3 elements in this deck, and it's mostly Steam, so Steam being fire and water. So him having Fire 5 is really strong in this deck because on average you'll get the +5. For his battle gear, we have Riverland Star. So basically, you're doing +5 fire damage, and every time you play a water-based attack and you do water damage, you heal 5. So basically, it's a difference of 10. You're doing 5 more, and then you're healing 5. So this is a very strong combo. Basically makes Grommer really hard to kill. In the middle, we had Tenga's Toborn. He has 2 music counters, 3 elements. He doesn't have Fire 5, but we make up for that with his battle gear. So his battle gear is Vlarik Shard. So basically, as long as he has Earth, any attack he plays does an additional 5 attack damage. So this is very strong. He's always hitting +5, and it doesn't matter which attack he plays. So it doesn't have to be fire. It could be any of the 3, or it can even be a stat-based attack. So it's really strong. So that's the way. This is a way for him to do additional damage, just like the Grandmars. And then on the other Grandmar, we also have, you guessed it, Riverland Star. So this is a really strong combo. You're doing +5 more damage, and you're healing 5. So it makes it that much harder for your opponent to kill your Grommer, and it makes your Grommer that much more oppressive. So your Grommer, he's doing 5 more damage. He's healing 5 every attack. So it's just really strong. We didn't decide to go with like fire. We didn't want to give him like Fire 5 more, because Fire 10, yeah, that's strong, but in this deck, like not every single attack is fire. Most of them are, but not every single one is. But for sure, almost every attack has at least water on it. So this way he capitalizes on both. So if it's a steam attack, he gets Fire 5, but as long as it's a water-based attack, he'll heal 5. So it's just a really good combo. So Hoon Paltanine has a Zai Mind Probe. So this basically makes her untargetable. Really good combo. And Hoon Paltanine forces your opponent to play a specific way. So instead of like playing Mujix during combat, it encourages your opponent to basically like before he engages or before you engage, play Mujic cards outside of combat so that you don't get this healing effect. But if you're in the middle of your combat and you force your opponent or you put them like in a bad position where they have to play Mujix during the combat, or they have something like Rhyme that they can only use during the combat, Hoon's gonna trigger and you're gonna heal 10 on top of that chain on whatever they're playing. So you're already healing 5 with the Riverland Stars, and then Hoon Paltanine will trigger in between Mujic cards and heal you another 10. And it's as long as one of their creatures loses a Mujic counter. So it could be an ability that they play, it could be a Mujic card that they play. But regardless, she's going to trigger. So she's a very strong card. She literally switches how you have to approach an entire matchup. Very strong, underrated card. The Karaba, so he's basically your heals. He has 3 counters. So you spend 1, and on resolve, it counts the amount of counters left on him, and you heal 10 per. So even though you start with 3, when you use the ability the first time, you heal 20. If you use the ability again, you heal 10. And then if you try to use it with only 1 counter, you won't heal anything. So a really good support card, and very strong in this deck because you're already healing passively with Riverland Stars and some other tech that's in this deck. So Kuraba just adds to that. In the back we have the Nazarin. So the Nazarin, as everyone knows, you can gain 5 energy. He starts with 3 counters, and his second ability can dispel target Marillion music. So we don't really use the second one, but if you play against a Marillion player, then now you have now you have a reason to use that effect. But he's mostly there for the counters. He's mostly there for casting. But that 5 energy does come in handy, especially because it's a gain. So that can get you out of a lot of messes. So going right into it, we're going to go to the location deck. So we're starting with Kiru City. So the initiative is Wisdom. That's important because you're playing Overworld. So you're probably always going to win initiative. And then Overworld creatures gain 10 energy. So this is good because as long as it's not a mirror match, you don't have to worry about giving your opponent anything with this location. So it should just benefit you. So a really good card, and it gives them 10 more energy, and it's a gain. So your Gromor will have 65, your Tenga Toborn has 80, Gromor has 75. And then Hoon would have 55 if it mattered. So you get it. He'd be 45, and Najran would be 40. Then we play Riverlands. So it's Initiative Wisdom. So again, this benefits your Overworld deck. If a creature deals water damage, Riverlands heals 5 energy to that creature. So it's basically another Riverlands star. So if you flip this up, if you get Riverlands and you're fighting with Gromor and he has his star, you're healing 10 every time you play a water attack, and you're doing +5 with Fire 5. So very strong combo. We've got Lake Kenepo. Initiative is number of elements. That's probably you because you're playing 3 elements. Creatures cannot gain or lose elemental types. So this is just to make sure that no one's playing any music cards that could take away any elements or any abilities that would like strip an element. So very strong. Basically make sure that you're not losing anything that you need. We play Darkened Dunes. Initiative Air. Creatures with Earth gain range and Swift 1. So a very strong card, really good for that early game setup. And, range and Swift is broken, so it's just one of those things. Opinion Mirage, of course, because this is a staple. Initiative Danian. Most of the time you'll get initiative because both of you guys aren't playing Danian, so that works out. All creatures gain Swift 1. Mirage. If a creature can move into this space, it must do so. So I've said it almost every video I make. If you get this location, if you flip this for your first location of the game, you probably won. So this allows you to jump in their back row. You pop the buy mower cycle. You go all the way to the back or to the middle or whatever the best support that they have is. And then you place this card on it. So it would be something like this. So you fight on this location. So say I jumped in the back. I kill Kuraba. And then I put this where the Kuraba was because I'm here now. And it would force... Well, you know what? That's not the best example. So let me reiterate. We jump all the way to the back and we kill the Nazarin. So now we're here. So now the only 2 creatures that are forced to move in this space would be Hoon or Kuraba. So this is generally how you want to play this card. So this is the most effective means, and if you pull this off on the first combat of the match, you probably won. So that's just one of those reasons why this card is a staple. Moving on, we have the Mujiks. So we play 1 Interlude of Interruption. It's a really good soft counter. Cost 1, negate a Mujic unless the creature casting that Mujic pays an additional Mujic. So basically so this is a bad example because Overworld cards are all loaded with counters. But pretend Gromor had 1 counter and he played Rhyme, and then you played Interlude of Interruption. Well, he can't pay the extra counter because he only had 1, so it would be negated. So this card has its uses. That's typically how you want to use it. We have Harmonious High Song. For 2 mutual counters, heal 30 damage to target creature. If you control only Overworld creatures, it gains 30 instead. So again, just another way to gain some energy, really strong. Gaining is always good because it raises your health cap, so you're allowed to heal up to that amount as well. So really strong. Double Rhyme of the Reckless because this is a staple. When target attack controlled by an opponent resolves, deal X damage to target engaged creature, where X is the damage that attack dealt. So it's like a magic cylinder. If you guys are familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh, it shares the damage of an attack. So like if they do 30 damage, you can also hurt them for 30 damage. So this is one of those cards that is really annoying and that Overworld has that just like for a while it kind of it messed with the meta like when it first came out, because Mapidians were kind of scared to strike because of this card. So good card. We play a hard counter, Refrain of Denial at cost 2, just straight out negate target music, very strong. And then of course, the bread and butter, Song of Stasis. I've told everybody, I say it over and over in my videos, this card is broken. It's so good. There's no defender in this deck. So if your opponent's playing Biomo, you're like, oh, well, that sucks. They're just going to jump in your back row, kill your Hoon or kill your Karaba or your Nazarin, right? No, because he has Song of Stasis. So until the end of the turn, target creature cannot move. So they'll pop the Bimower, they'll target whoever they target with the Bimower, and then you chain Song of Stasis on that creature, and now they wasted their Bimower and that creature can't move. So now they're forced to go into your front row, which is what you want. So if you're not playing Defender, try to play Song of Stasis. I mean, outside of that scenario, this card is really good. I've told people, use Song of Stasis, there's Zamul. Now the Zamul can't attack. Now they have to attack with someone else. Now you get to play. You don't just get to sit there and you don't have to sit there and watch them just like snipe everything. You can like play your refrains now. You could play your interlude. So Song of Stasis has a lot of uses outside of just paralyzing a creature. It's very techy, and if you use it right, this can help you pretty much win the game just as much as Mapidian Mirage on turn 1. So really good card. Sometimes it's hard not to play 2, but typically you just need 1. And in a deck like this where you have the hard counter and the soft counter, it'll guarantee that you play the Song of Stasis. So it's not bad. So basically, now that I've got everything that's in the deck out of the way, the playstyle here is very straightforward. It's not like one of the super techie decks that I like to show off all the time. It's just very straightforward. Beat your opponent down and heal 5. So here we go. The attack deck is mostly Steam, so you can benefit from your Fire 5, and so you can benefit from your Riverland Star, because your Groundmers are your main fighters. Tanga Toborn he's very good. He can fight. He has the Vlark Shard. But you kind of want that Riverland Star combo with the Fire 5. So here we have Force Balls. So it's a Steam attack, 5 base, 5 fire, 5 water. So there you go. So with your Fire 5, it does 20, and with Riverland Star, you heal 5. So just a very good card. It has the synergies that go with the creatures that you're playing. This is triple element Overworld. So you have your really good tech cards in here too. You'll see those right now. So just really good card. Steam, you benefit from the Star and the Fire 5. You have Reckless Defeat, another Steam attack, really good. If you're playing against War Beasts, they're gonna cry. But outside of that, I mean, it's just a Steam attack. So you do 15 damage because of the Fire 5, and you'll heal 5. So really good. Flood Force. So you don't get the 15. You don't get the Fire 5, but you'll still heal 5, and it does 15 base. So that's not bad at all. Another Force Balls. Elemental Oxidation, one of my favorite cards in this attack deck. So 5 fire damage, 0 earth damage, and then 5 water damage. So if you have fire and earth, which they all do, all your front line have fire and earth, it'll flip the opposing engaged creature's battle gear face down. So this card is very good because you'll get the +5 for the Fire 5, and you're going to heal the 5 for the Riverland Star, and you're going to flip their battle gear face down. This is really strong. This is really good against Bodil's Dagger. This is really good against Corral. This is really good against Zerium Armor. I mean, if it's a useful battle gear, you're flipping it face down, it's broken. Elemental Oxidation is so good. It was one of those things that me and my friends were so happy that this attack just worked out in here, like you don't see attacks like these all the time because of the amount of elements that they have and because it's fire and earth that you need to get that effect. So, that's kind of like odd. So it's really good. So it was really nice having it in this attack deck. And the best part is you can play two. So it's like I believe it's called I can't remember that attack. I think it's called like Gear Glissando or no, that's a music. But anyways, there's another attack you can play. It's a generic. It does a five. No, I don't even think it does damage. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it flips all gear face down, which isn't good all the time because sometimes you need your gear. So this is just really good. It's good that you can play elemental oxidation in here, and it synergizes with the deck perfectly. So moving on, we have another Reckless Defeat. We got Flame Bloom. So this is a really good zero build. It's Steam. So it heals 5 if you have fire, and you gain 10 wisdom if you have water. So you'll do +5 because you have fire 5. But since you're not doing water damage, you won't heal. But you're going to heal because you have fire because that's on the card. So, I mean, it works out. It works out. Purifying Mud, really good attack card. Again, this is triple element. So if you have earth and water, deal 5 damage and then gain 5 energy until the end of the turn. So this is a really good attack. So you're going to do 10 damage and then you'll have fire 5, so you'll do 15 damage. You're not going to heal with Riverland Star, but you're going to gain 5 energy and do 5 more with the built-in effect of Purifying Mud. So Purifying Mud's going to do 20 and you're going to gain 5. So gaining is better than healing. So it works out the same. You got a 1 Combustion Carnage. This card is really good, very underrated. For fire, if you have fire, you may sacrifice an unengaged creature you control. If you do, deal 20. And then with the fire 5 of Grommer, it'll do 5 more, so it'll do 25. And Tenga Toborn has Vlark Shard, so it would do 25. So basically, this is in here just in case. I covered the Hoon, but I'm just showing the attack deck. This is in here just in case. Say Karaba's all out of counters. You don't want to lose the fight. So Karaba's useless now. You can chuck him. So you can throw Karaba. You can do 20 damage. I mean, that's 20 damage. That's nothing to scoff at. Okay, that's a primal smash. And you'll do 25 because you have fire 5. So that's nothing to scoff at. Sometimes that's what you need to win that fight. So very good card. Recommend 1 at least if you can. Inner Flood. Very good card. You can move counters around. So if I need to move a counter from Hoon to Karaba, so he'll have 4, so then he'll heal 30, or from Tenga's Toborn to Karaba, or something like that, I can replenish Karaba this way. Or I can use Inner Flood, and I can take a music counter from one of my opponent's creatures and swap them around. So I can take it off of a creature that has like a really good effect and give it to one of his frontliners that doesn't have an effect at all. And if I do that, Hoon Palutene will trigger, because when an opposing non-overworld creature loses a music counter period, heal 10 damage to target creature. So I can play Inner Flood, I can move one of their counters around, and then Hoon will trigger, and I can heal 10 to somebody. So it's a very good card, very, very good tech. We've got Purifying Mud again, because we can play 2 of these bad boys. It'll do 20, and you'll gain 5, so that's super strong. We've got another Inner Flood, very good tech card. We play Marksman's Prep in this deck, so you don't need air to use this card if you don't know. And also the effect is really good. The opposing engaged creature cannot gain music counters. So sometimes this matters. Sometimes, if you do this, if you play this attack against a Nunk Worm or a Fluid Morpher, now they can't Fluid Morph. So it's just one of those things like where the actual effect on the card actually does something sometimes. And then the secondary effect is you may discard another Marksman's Prep. If you do, deal an additional 30 damage and draw an attack card. So if you're holding both in your hand, this does 30. So really good. Really, it's a staple in a lot of attack decks just because It'll draw again for you, so it'll replenish your hand. And it's just not bad to have in there because the numbers work out. So most of the time you're able to draw both in a game, and it's 30 damage. So that's nothing to scoff at. Flood Force, the second elemental oxidation. This card is so good. I've lost against this attack card so many times, especially when I'm playing like my Bottle's Dagger decks. Because you guys know I love my Bottle Dagger deck, so elemental oxidation is really good. We have Flaming Coals. So this is the highlight of the attack deck. It does 10 base, 10 fire, 10 water. Flaming Coals may not be the target of music or abilities. Very important. They can't rhyme it. They can't Melody of Mirage it. They can't activate our bait and make it do 5. They can't target this attack, period. It's a finisher. If you play this attack card, it's going through. They're finished. This is a finisher attack. It's very strong. It can't be targeted. And it's a steam attack, which makes it even better. So with Granmer, this will do 35 and it'll heal you 5. And it can't interrupt it. So it's super strong. Very good card. There's the second Marksman's Prep. There's Thermo Rings, a steam attack. So stat check Wisdom 50, so all your creatures make that because this is Overworld. And 5 fire, 5 water. So it'll do 20 damage because of your fire 5. And if Tinga Tobran plays it, does 20 because he has Valaric Shard. So just remember that. The second Flaming Coals because it's really good. This is steam. And your second Thermo Rings. So that wraps up this deck. It's very strong. It's straight to the point. It doesn't do anything flashy. It's just a very solid. You have Fire 5 and you have Riverland Star. So it makes a difference of 10 every attack you play. So if you played 3 attacks, you've healed 15 and you've done an extra 15. That 15 matters because usually an attack is usually a fight against creatures is 3 attacks. So Grommer would play 3 attacks on average, kill your monster, or your monster would play 3 attacks on average and kill my monster. But with Riverland Star, it makes it so that you have to play 4 attacks at least. Usually. It just depends on like how lucky their draws are or what kind of attack deck they're playing. But this allows you to, what is the word here? This allows you to drag out the fight more, which is in your benefit because you're Overworld. You have all these healing effects. You know, you've got the best supports in the game. And so dragging out the fight is in your favor always. So Riverland Star is really good. That difference of 10 with the Fire 5 is just super strong. And Tinga Tobran, he's just good in general, and he's really good against Gantrack Drain because his ability resets him, and he can do it twice. And if you play, say you got lucky, right? You're playing Gantrack Drain, you get lucky, and you're able to draw your Inner Floods. You can give him another counter off of any of your creatures, and now he can reset again. So, you know, it's just that's not why he's in here. He's in here because he has the 3 elements, the health, and 2 music counters. I mean, why wouldn't you play this? But it just so happens that he's really good against Gantrack Drain, so that's a plus. Hoon, because she forces your opponent to play a specific way, which is in your benefit. The Krabba for the heals. And Nazrin, because, you know, he's Nazrin, super strong. And he's not just good against just Marillions. What happens is mixed tribe decks usually play a Nunkworm. So Nazrin is just really good like that. Like if you play a mixed tribe deck with Nunkworm, then Nazrin's going to be gaining counters all day. Your opponent's going to hate it. So this is the deck. Very solid, very straightforward. Nothing too flashy. It's just a solid deck. You got your Riverlands, your Kuro City. You got your Lake Canopus, so you don't lose elements. You got your Darkened Dunes to jump in their backlines. And you got your Mepidian Mirages to, you know, checkmate the game if you get it right away. Which happens a lot, guys. I mean, it happens a lot. Song of Stasis because it's broken and everybody should be playing this card because it just denies so many matchups. It's just super strong. Your hard counter, soft counter, double rhyme, and your harmonious. Alright, so this is Triple Element Overworld. This is my friend's bread and butter right now. We helped him refine it. He's our Overworld player in the group, and he let me borrow his deck so I can show you guys. And I had to make this video because he's been asking me for his deck back. So yeah, so here you guys go. You know, it's not easy for me to just crank out content these days. You know, when I first started, I didn't have any kids. Now I have two. You know, I had to get a babysitter just so I can make this video real quick for you guys. So yeah, you know, I apologize for the wait. I know I made that post and I said that I was gonna be uploading this Overworld deck like 2 to 3 weeks ago. I don't even remember how long ago it was that I said that. But here it is now, and I'm gonna try to keep. I have a couple more decks to show you guys, and I've just been busy. But I'm gonna try to get those uploaded soon. Give me about a week or two, cause you know, very busy guy. Kids are no joke, man. I'll tell you right now. So yeah, here you guys go. Have a good day, and I hope you like the deck. Like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I mean, I say it helps me out. I'm not making any money off of this, but I mean, you know, I do want you guys to still like and subscribe, you know, because going forward, that'd be really cool, especially if the game came back, you know. So I'll see you guys. Peace out.